Cavendish takes a heavy tumble in stage 5 of Tour of Oman before Intermarché goes Skytrain choo-choo mode for Jan Hirt to launch it. I didn't get round to the stage yesterday. Stage 4, a massive shake-up on GC. This was a hilly circuit, kind of like a Imola-style course. Mauro Schmidt was up the road. It didn't finish on a climb though. There was a climb, then a fast ascent. Masnada was sitting in DSM, who had Vandenabile and Vermarke chasing, but Vauquelin, young Arkea rider, very strong the last 2 days, dropped Schmidt. Costa looking like he was in trouble. Poor Charmig, who doesn't have any teammates here for UnoX, was chasing all day. And we get to this fast descent. Vauquelin was clear, but the group is always quicker usually on these highway descents. And I swear, has this been in a viral video with Uran and Sagan before, this descent? But what happened was, and I wasn't expecting it, I thought it was going to be a group finish, as they catch Vauquelin through this corner, I'll pause it here, Hirt or, a DSM rider, I think, or Schmidt, lets the wheel of Hirt go, and then Masnada takes this corner better, sees he has a gap on Jan Hirt, and I went through their Strava data, like Hirt's doing like 88 Ks at this point, and don't know what Masnada was doing. He went clear, soloed, and then as we saw many times last year, even in the Tour de France, dysfunction in the group behind, Masnada takes a big victory after his second in Lombardia at the end of last year, and 67 seconds on that group behind. And this was like a 12K run into the finish, so dysfunction there. And I'm glad I didn't make the video yesterday, because I thought I would have said he's gone into an unassailable lead in the general classification. Yes, they had the hard green mountain the next day, but 55 seconds on Charmig and a minute on Jan Hirt, a pretty tall order to lose that much, particularly when Masnada would have been one of the big favourites for Green Mountain anyway.
We will see how I feel tomorrow, and I'm sure that with this team they will help me in a good way, and it's my responsibility to try to do another good effort and to try to wear this jersey also tomorrow.
But here's the Green Mountain stage, maybe the hardest climb in the Middle Eastern races. I think it is. 6Ks, 10%, brutal, but an easy stage beforehand. Pure watts per kilo test. We've seen the likes of Froome, Purito, and Rafael Viles light up this climb before. 6.65 kilos for 18.5 minutes, the record for Viles back in 2015. Jan Hirt, though, Rein Taramai, his Estonian teammate on Intermarché, said he is the best climber in this race before the stage. We thought Intermarché, we knew Intermarché were going to try something on this stage. Whether he'd break the record, unlikely. I think there was a light headwind on the climb. Anyway, there was some echelon action. It wasn't just a straightforward run-in. There were even splits before they got to the base of the climb. I think Charmig got caught behind again. He got caught behind a few times in Saudi Tour as well, actually. And then Cavendish got caught up. We didn't see exactly, can't attribute whose fault it is. He got caught up in a crash, a touch of wheels, which we also saw in Provence. Crashes happen in these hectic crosswind sections and looked pretty heavy. He rolled a couple of times, but Cavendish got back up. We'd see him later, while still the group was pacing ahead. So the break, who thought, okay, maybe we'll get caught at the base of the climb, they got caught a lot earlier than normal. Because of those crosswinds and the peloton pacing hard, the groups eventually did come back together, which Charmig would have been pretty happy with. And actually, Cavendish continued the stage wearing the points jersey, which, I mean, credit to Cavendish. He wasn't looking terribly happy at this point though, but now we got into the run-in to the base of this 6K, 10%, 20-minute climb. Would Masnada be able to defend the leader's jersey? Would he go for the stage? Would Intermarché be able to win the stage? And full credit to Cavendish here. I mean, sometimes he gets accused of being a prima donna, but this is a February tune-up race. He's just crashed and he's gone to the front to pace hard at the base of this climb for his teammates. So I do have to tip my cap to him for that effort there. But after he pulled off, Intermarché lit this climb up. Full team effort. I mean, this is full Skytrain mode. Tom de Vriend, Hugo Page, Taramai lighting it up for Jan Hirt, putting everybody under pressure. Already gaps opening up. They paced this at over 6 watts per kilo for like the first 10 minutes of this climb for Jan Hirt, and already we just see some riders noping out of that front group. Arkea had two riders, Elie, Gesbert, and Vauquelin looking good in third and fourth wheel. Masnada's in the red leader's jersey, fifth wheel. It's Taramai pacing at this point. And got to remember, Hirt and Taramai at the Vuelta at the end of last year, the Estonian and the Czech, they were going very well and good on steep climbs. Pick on Blanco Camoneteru for Jan Hirt. You might remember that awesome job he did for Louis Meintjes. And Taramai does an incredible job for Hirt. When he steps off, already Masnada has been dropped by Taramai. That's how good Taramai's pull was. Only Gesbert and Vauquelin can keep the wheel of Jan Hirt, but not for long. Hirt has just done a training camp, an altitude camp in Colombia pre-season, and then come into this race absolutely flying. The group was shattered behind. That was with 2 kilometers left, and he puts a minute 48 into Masnada. And yes, it's like 11-12%, but still to put 2 minutes in on a 7.5 minute effort, the two Arkea boys try to follow him. He eventually drops Vauquelin, and it's not long before he has Gesbert suffering on the wheel as well. And I should mention, for the rest of February, on Tuesday nights, I have a Zwift group rider Q&A. I'll be talking about this stage and Oman and Provence as well with my podcast co-host Benji. That's at 6 p.m. UK time, 7 p.m. European time. Link in a pinned comment and the description down below. Hirt eventually drops Gesbert. He cannot keep his wheel. And this is what I love about cycling. Monday morning, this one in the morning, people are at work, 11 a.m. There's a race going on in the Middle East, Tour of Oman in February, and there's Jan Hirt, who maybe not too many people know, doing what would have been one of the best performances in cycling last year. Incredibly good on these steep gradients. Intermarché are flying early in the season. They're going for the point. They're not just going for the points, they're taking out, probably they took a stage here in GC. They won Almeria with Christoph, their new signing. And they're also doing it with wonderful team performances. I've got the watts per kilo and the data we figured out, and Hirt uploaded to Strava as well at the end of this video. But a huge performance from the 31-year-old Czech. Will he go to the Giro now and target top 10 on GC? If he can perform like this, that's well within his grasp. Paul Masnada lost a lot of time and struggled badly in the last 2 kilometers, losing the jersey, a minute 48 behind Jan Hirt. Vauquelin only 39 seconds behind, 9 seconds ahead of his teammate Gesbert. So Gesbert also seemed to go over his limit, trying to follow Hirt that little bit longer. A better performance from Coglioni, the young Italian, on Bike Exchange. But how fast did Jan Hirt go? Well, he didn't break the record, 19 minutes 39, a minute and 11 seconds behind the record of Valls back in 2015, but there's a bit of a headwind, a minute now ahead of Masnada on GC, a minute 16 ahead of Rui Costa. He's looking good.
Now it's important, don't make some mistakes, don't have some bad crashes or something, what we can destroy this little bit dream, I mean. So yeah, we have to pay attention tomorrow and arrive safe in the finish line with red jersey.
Subject to any major issues which Jan Hirt just mentioned there, they should be taking up the general classification. But I hope you enjoyed the video. See you on the LRCP Zwift group ride tomorrow evening. Ciao.